Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I gotta tell you, it really does look like the wait is finally over. XRP has been moving dramatically. I mean, just right before the United States election, XRP was as low as 49 cents. It hit a high the other day of over 74 cents. So from 49 cents to 74, that is not what a dead coin does. And I'll tell you what, it's happening at a time where it makes sense to, when the market is clearly getting hot. And not only that, you know what's really cool on top of all of this? I'm going to share with you perspective from a few analysts in this video, but you know what's really cool is that there are new ways for crypto investors to get exposure to XRP, including in an index fund and on a new exchange, a very large exchange that you've probably heard of. In fact, I'm willing to bet that many of you have accounts with this particular exchange. And this is happening. So think about it. New ways to get exposure to XRP at a time when the market's so hot and things are about to go ballistic. This is incredible. It's like just adding fuel to the fire, you know? But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Speaking of putting fuel right on that lovely little fire, take a look at this post from chart analyst Ali Martinez. He wrote, Tether is like the Federal Reserve of crypto. Every time the USDT printer goes burr, that means printing, I can't roll my R's, but anyway, every time it goes burr, that's what it sounds like when I try and do it, the crypto market climbs higher. And in the last 9 days, over 7 billion USDT have been printed. Now, folks, given that that's been printed, where do you think that might be going? Into some coins, perhaps, including XRP? Yes, in fact. Here's a post from chart analyst Mustache. Hashtag altcoins. After more than 3 years, the total market cap of crypto has made a new all-time high. That's right, back above $3 trillion. Now, I don't know how high this thing's going to go, but I've seen all sorts of analysts predict maybe even closer to $10 trillion. Some very optimistic analysts out there think it could even be like $20 trillion. I don't know. I'm not bothering with the prediction. But suffice it to say, way higher than it is. And money is absolutely going to circulate through this entire space, as it always does. And a certain amount of that is going to flow directly into XRP. And the people who just thought because XRP's not hit a new all-time high in 7 years, therefore it never will, they're going to be caught off guard. And they're going to miss the opportunity. And this point is driven home, I'd say pretty well, by chart analyst Bobby A., who the other day wrote the following. XRP has systematically and ruthlessly conditioned the sheep who lack the ability to think for themselves into thinking it will never appreciate in value. This is going to be beautiful to watch, and yet another example of how psychology, sentiment, and higher time frames are the 3 most powerful tools for making money in the markets. Yeah, so I have a feeling that that's going to age pretty damn well. I fully anticipate XRP to hit a new all-time high in enterprise discovery. I mean, unless we're not going to have a proper alt season. I mean, if coins don't pop off, but it looks like it's already starting. You can see liquidity increasing. So I think probably, yeah. Take a look at this. This is a post from chart analyst MM Crypto with 1.5 million followers. Shared this XRP USD chart and wrote, XRP holders, the 4 years wait is over. So you can see that he's drawn the symmetrical triangle going back to the previous market cycle and noted, yeah, we have broken out above it. And I was talking about this in my last video. Like, I just find tons of analysts over the last 24 to 48 hours, say, who have said this is not a false breakout. It has broken above the symmetrical triangle after all of these years. And I certainly hope he's right. And it's worth noting, like, this guy, I do believe he's being intellectually honest because he does not like XRP. I saw this and I was like, oh, really? You are optimistic. In fact, to drive the point home, here's a post from July of this year. July 22nd, yeah. And he said, Bitcoin, ETH, and XRP trade update, 9 million in profit. Okay, so he's bragging a little bit. He made his 9 million profit. Good for him, though. Good for him. But then in a separate post, he wrote, disclaimer. I bought a lot of XRP spot also. So, of course, just means like from an exchange. Then he says, this is risky and a gamble of mine. I am not at all an XRP fan, buying for profit. So you know what? I don't need people to agree with me that XRP is a great coin in order for me to love or respect them. And so, at least this guy, even though I don't think it makes sense to dislike XRP, that's fine. He's entitled to his opinion. I just appreciate that he's being intellectually honest and he thinks it's going to make him a freaking fortune. So take it for what it's worth. I mean, when people say they don't like XRP, but then they admit, yeah, it's going to go, I'm like, okay, I can respect that at least. I can get down with that. Here's a post from chart analyst Steph is Crypto. XRP has broken out of its compression zone, signaling the start of a potentially parabolic rally. Every time XRP has broken out like this, it's led to life-changing gains. Yeah, he's not kidding. That has been true. I know last cycle, no new all-time high, so a bit disappointing, but the SEC attacked. What are you going to do? We don't get to control that. But look back to the cycle before that, my God. Literally about an 80,000% increase from the bottom to the top of that cycle. 80,000. XRP was the best performer for that cycle. So I don't know if it's going to be the number one performer this cycle. A lot more competition now on top of that. But I will not be surprised if it is among the top. And certainly, I mean, it's a real good chance it could be the best performer in the top 10. Or even just for large caps, broadly speaking. We gonna find out together, though. Here's a post from analyst Crypto Bull. I'm not familiar with this particular analyst, but I keep finding more and more people talking about XRP. This guy's got almost 50,000 followers, so he's built up a pretty respectable following here. That's not easy to do. And he's saying in the short term, and I've seen lots of analysts call for this, in the short term, breaking above $1 very soon. I really don't think we're going to have to wait much longer. The market is heating up right now. I'll not be surprised if this ends up coming to pass. Then there's this post from chart analyst Dark Defender. XRP USD chart. XRP closed 2 days in a row above 66.49 cents. Now we can say this Fibonacci level is dead too. There are no more substantial levels than this until $1.03. If we see touches above 74.96 cents, such as 76 cents or more, we can quickly expect the $1.03 level this week. This is not financial advice, but my expectation. Remember, XRP broke the multi-year resistance of 66.49 cents in November of 2024. So there's another analyst who's saying, like, very soon, he even said this week potentially, if it stays like a breaking above $1. I will not at all be surprised when this inevitably happens. I don't pretend to know when. Maybe he's right, it's this week, maybe it's not. Don't know. But the market's just going to get hotter. We are not near the peak, and more people can buy XRP at this incredibly opportune time. So you know how last cycle it was rather unfortunate that right as things were getting hot and we were about to have alt season, the SEC sued Ripple attacking XRP and XRP holders. Well, instead, we're having good things happen at the right time. So now the market, here we are 4 years later, market's heating up, and XRP not only has legal clarity, but it's getting added to in various ways so that people can get more exposure to it, including this one. You ever heard of exchange Robinhood? A pretty massive exchange. I'm sure many of you have accounts out there. Well, look at this. Robinhood adds Solana, Pepe, Cardano, XRP following Trump victory. How about that? You'll love to see it. It's a major exchange, so it's just one more thing, though. More people will buy XRP than otherwise wouldn't. I'm not saying it's the end-all be-all, but it's exciting and great news, is it not? So it's good to see something positive happening at a time when all of this matters, rather than what happened 4 years ago with the SEC deciding to attack all of us and try to ruin our lives. So that's good. That's not the only thing, though. Take a look at this. Coinbase adds Doge, XRP, and Shiba Inu to its newly launched Coin50 index fund. Now, this, I think, is really neat. You're going to see more and more stuff like this as the asset class matures, and yes, XRP is going to be a part of this. You can just buy a fund, and then you get broad exposure. It's an easy, no-nonsense way to get exposure to the asset class without individually picking coins. I find this attractive. In fact, so I'm not in the market to buy anything right now, any coins or any funds, but that's something that, depending on what it looks like in terms of custody, like, maybe I'd consider that. Excuse me. So piece reads as follows. Check this out. Leading US-based crypto exchange Coinbase has added Doge, XRP, Shiba Inu, and 47 other crypto assets to its new Coinbase 50 index fund. Coinbase has launched a crypto investment tool that tracks the performance of the top 50 crypto assets by market cap, excluding stablecoins. In a Tuesday release, the exchange noted that the index fund would provide alternative means to gain exposure to a wide array of digital assets through one fund. The largest U.S. exchange launched the fund in collaboration with index development firm Market Vector. The symbiotic partnership will leverage Coinbase's strong market presence and Market Vector's index experience to foster the adoption of the newly launched crypto fund. Termed the Coinbase 50 or Coin 50, so that'd be the ticker symbol. The index fund benchmarks assets like Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, XRP, Doge, and Shiba Inu. Notably, each of the cryptocurrencies weighs differently on the fund, as Coinbase proportioned the assets based on their market capitalization. Yeah, so this is pretty normal. I think this is, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is pretty similar to what Grayscale does with their, what's it called, the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund. I think it's pretty much the same thing, or very similar anyway. But check this out. So for context, Bitcoin weighs 51.7%, ETH 25.99%, Solana 6.5%. Other notable assets like Doge, XRP, and Shiba Inu account for 3.6%, 2.52%, so that'd be for XRP, and 1% of the index fund, respectively. So as XRP increases in price, larger market cap means more exposure for anybody that buys the fund as that goes up. It's just happening at the perfect time. And not to make it out like this or the Robinhood news is the end all be all, but fuel to the fire, my friends. Fuel to the fire. I think XRP runs a new all-time high even without this stuff, of course. But my God, what great timing. This is such an incredible and exciting time to be an XRP. There's also this. As XRP pumps by 45%, analysis suggests further uptrend depends on FOMO and balanced funding rates. And they're talking about perspective here from Santiment. I don't need to read the article. I'll just let it share with you the actual post that they were referencing. Big fan of Santiment, on-chain analytics firm here, 193,000 followers for good reason. They wrote the following. The XRP community has erupted with excitement and discussions related to crypto's number 7 market cap. Over 4% of all coin discussions are related to XRP following a plus 45% breakout over an 8-day span, surpassing 74 cents. Its year high back in March will largely depend on FOMO staying at bay and funding rates on large exchanges like Binance not getting too weighed down by longs. Yeah, and fair enough. I think, and I still think it's just a matter of time, but man, the volume has exploded. 24-hour volume now, $4.58 billion. It's normally closer to about $1 billion on just a regular day, but it got up to, let's see what the peak was over last week. It got up to, called about $8.3 billion in 24-hour volume, just like a couple days ago. Insanity. That's like 8 times higher than normal. Oh, it's such a cool time to be an XRP holder. We deserve everything we're about to get. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.